Thank you, Father, for this day, for this life, for the common sense and gumption that you have given me. Folks, I'm on here this morning fairly well pissed off. I went to go vote, and I live in the state of Indiana. And, you got to go through all this rigmarole when you go in to vote to begin with. As long as I got a valid voter's registration, everything else should be null and void. But okay, I live with the bullshit. But in Indiana, in order to vote, you have to tell them if you're Democrat, Republican, or nonpartisan. Well, I was born and raised to be a Democrat, but in my older age, I've decided, you know what? I'm nonpartisan. So that's what I checked. Guess what? Guess what? I wasn't allowed to vote for mayor or for any of the city, county councilmen or any of that other. You know why? Because I put myself in as nonpartisan. So I'm not allowed to vote for any of that other stuff in this particular election. Tell me, is that voter suppression or not? When I am being forced, coerced, to identify as either Democrat or Republican. Otherwise, you are not allowed to have a say in who is your mayor, who are your city, county councilmen, so on and so forth. How in the fuck is that fair? Hmm? I couldn't cast a vote against that bum ass Andre Carson, my congressman. I couldn't cast a vote against that red faced drunk that inhabits the mayor's office. No. All I was allowed to do was to vote on a tax referendum for the Indianapolis public school system. That's it. You tell me how that's fair or equitable or democratic, since you punks like that word so much. And I say that like that because America is not a democracy. It has never been a democracy. It was not designed to be a democracy. It is a representative republic. It is the modern day version of Rome. You don't have to believe me. Look it up. The founding fathers intentionally designed this form of government to emulate the way the Roman government worked and was structured. If you don't believe me, use the magic triangle. That's what the cell phone shit is. All the knowledge in the world is contained in here on a computer. Google it, YouTube it, whatever, however, it's out there. What Mulder and Scully used to say, the truth is out there. And it is. I come out of the polling place. Well, on my way into the polling place, there's two women sitting in front. An older black woman to my left, a younger white woman to my right. Both politicking, which I thought was illegal. But okay. And I told them both right then, because they were both politicking for Democrats. And I told them right there, right then, nah, you can keep that, because I ain't voting for a Democrat. I've been voting Democrat all my life, and what have I gotten? What have my people gotten? Black people went from being upright, self-sufficient, by God, if you won't give it to me, and in fact, fuck you giving it to me, I'll just go out and get it for myself. I come from an age when black men and women were black men and black women. I come from an age when if you weren't working a regular job or you weren't out here hustling legally, you know, cutting grass or cleaning people's garage, fixing people's cars. If you weren't out here earning a living in a legal way, black people looked at you like you were weird and they didn't want to fuck with you. That's the truth. I come from an age when my mother, a single mother, had 2 jobs and a hustle. And I came from an age when if your mom worked, it was your grandparents or your aunts that watched you while she worked. I come from an age where you got to kindergarten knowing how to read, see time run, see time run fast. I come from an age when you started school with a first grade education. I come from an age when you could sit down and say, hey, I want to buy me a new 30 carbine or a new 12 gauge or a new 1911. And if you didn't want to go to the store or they didn't have what you were looking for in the store, you called up Smith & Wesson or Ruger or whoever, and you found out if they had it. And if they did, you sat down and wrote them out a check or a money order, and you sent it to them, telling them what you wanted, and they put it in a box and sent it right to your fucking door. That's the age I come from. I come from an age where you knew where you stood. You knew who was who and what was what, and there was no ambiguity in anything. Anything. I come from an age when we used to go fishing up in Noblesville, and there was a gas station / bait house on the way where we would always stop and get our bait. You know, I'm a little dude. I'm like 8, 9. And the name of the place was Kindly Keep Coming. And he spelled coming with a K. Kind of telling, huh? But wasn't nothing said. Everybody knew who was who and what was what. And you were there to spend money and go fishing. So you were left to fuck alone. I come from an age when if I was walking down the street, fuck, I couldn't even get out of the house. If my pants weren't properly pulled up, I couldn't even get out of the house. And if I did get out of the house, everybody's mom and daddy was like, nigga, pull your pants up. Quit looking like a slave. I come from an age when we actually had real politicians. Yeah, sort of. But I come from the JFK age. I remember what JFK said. Yeah, I wasn't old enough to understand it. And yes, I was just a baby, but I remember what he said. And he said it in my lifetime. The secrecy is a bad thing and it should be abhorrent to the American people. I remember he said he was going to take the CIA, and that does not stand for Christians in Action. He was going to take the CIA, break it into 1,000 pieces, and scatter it to the wind. And lo and behold, he ended up with a bullet in his head 3 months later. Kind of telling, isn't it? I come from an age where if a gay guy was a gay guy or a gay gal was a gay gal, guess what? They were just gay. They didn't, and some of them gay guys even dressed like girls on a regular basis. They were just gay guys in a dress. They did not try and force you to believe, nor did they try and talk themselves into believing that they were girls. They enjoyed dressing like that. Cool, kosher. Fuck, I remember when I was a kid, we used to go to and I do mean kid because I wasn't 21 yet, But we would go to the liquor store at 29th and Central, and there was a chick that worked in there named Candy. Candy was a dude. We all thought it was kind of ha ha, but it wasn't like we was gonna pick on somebody for being gay. They was just gay. In the 60s and 70s, you got picked on because you were breathing. Of course, today they call that bullying. Back when I was a kid, in my age, bullying was putting your hands on somebody. Because if you couldn't take, I'll use myself, if you couldn't take being called fat, if you couldn't take being called slow, uh, if you couldn't take whatever verbal abuse was being heaped upon you by your peers, you didn't survive. Now they tell kids that, I mean, when I was a kid and you played a game, we were playing sports up at Tabernacle, a church. Uh, you either was the winner or you was the loser. Wasn't no trophies for showing up. You you might get a most valuable player and you might get a most improved. Other than that, you was there, but you didn't get a trophy for it. Now, if they don't get a trophy for showing up, they don't like me. No one likes you. My mother told me that as a young man. No one likes you. No one loves you. The love and the like you receive in this world, it'll be from the people in this household. And if you're lucky, you might actually find a woman to love you. Other than that, all you got is people who deal with you, who put up with you. America's become so soft, it's pitiful. And you motherfuckers want to start a war with Russia? A country where they still have morals, a country where they still hard. They still remember what it is to be a human. Not America. You motherfuckers know what it's like to be soft. Bunch of Peter Pans. Peace.